Aaron Reed case?
Just earlier this week, they've had slightly shortened days, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form suggesting that they haven't conducted their due diligence in regard to their deliberative process, but I would submit that it is far, far, far too early in their deliberative process to even consider giving them any kind of Tui Rodriguez instruction or anything close to that. Furthermore, what the note doesn't really indicate affirmatively that they can't come to a conclusion. It just says that they haven't come to a conclusion through their deliberative process at this time. They're not even asking for one, is what I would say.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Giannetti, I'll hear you.
Your Honor, I would disagree with Mr. Lowry's characterization of the note. The word exhaustive is the word I think that's operative here. They're communicating to the court that they've exhausted all manner of compromise, all manner of persuasion, and they're at an impasse. This is a case where the jury has the legal instructions. They've only really asked one question, which was to try to get a report that they were not allowed to get. And I think the message has been received that the evidence is closed. They won't get anything more. They've been working essentially nonstop over the last 3-4 days. We're approaching a weekend. They didn't come back with this at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. They're at 12 o'clock and they have nowhere to turn. So our position is the jury should be read the Tui Rodriguez model instruction and go from there.
Okay. All right. So you all know that it is within my discretion, I decide. So a case that has been, it's a long case. This is our 4th day of deliberations, but Tuesday was a short afternoon, maybe 2.5 hours. Wednesday, they left early because of an appointment. Yesterday was also shortened a little bit, and this note arrived with less than 3 hours of deliberations today. So the length of the trial, the length of the deliberations, I know the case we heard from 74 witnesses. There are 657 exhibits, very complex issues in this case. I'm not prepared to find that there have been due and thorough deliberations at this point. So I am going to send them back out. We'll bring them in and we'll do that now.
Okay, so we have Cheryl Fiandaca joining us on the desk now. So we just heard from Judge Cannoni, who essentially said she wasn't satisfied with the amount of time that they have spent deliberating so far, and she's going to send them back in.
Right. She's basically saying at this point in time, she does not believe the jury is hung, that they're not able to come to a decision. They have not been able so far to come to a decision, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they would not be able to should they continue their deliberations. And she's basically saying at this point, she's going to call them back in and tell them to keep deliberating. It's only been a couple of days. At this point, as she mentioned, there's been quite a bit of evidence. You're talking over 600 exhibits,
right?
Weeks of testimony. We'll listen in here and hear what she has to say once the jury's impaneled.
Okay, so as the jury is walking in right now, we'll stop speaking as soon as we hear Judge Cannoni. We did talk to some legal analysts leading up to this, and we did hear from a couple who said they thought that we might run into a situation like this.
And for sure, you absolutely could. I mean, it's a very polarizing case.
Right. So, jurors, I'm in receipt of your note. I am writing to inform you on behalf of the jury that despite our exhaustive review of the evidence and our diligent consideration of all disputed evidence, we have been unable to reach a unanimous verdict signed by your foreperson. We all know how hard you've been working. Lunch will be arriving shortly. When it comes, I'd ask you to clear your heads, have lunch, and begin your deliberations again. So, or continue your deliberations. All right. So I'm sending you back out.
All rise for the court, please. Sheriff's Hall, please.
Okay, so Cheryl, oh, what do we make of this? She's just not satisfied. Is this typical in a case like this for a jury to say we can't come to a decision, for the judge to say I want you to go back and work harder?
It is typical. I mean, you're looking at a case that, as we've been talking about, it's very polarizing. There are people who believe that the Commonwealth is right and that she was involved in John O'Keefe's death. And then there are all of her supporters and people who believe that this is a cover up and this is a shoddy investigation and she's not guilty. So you have both of that. You have an 8-week trial. You have over 600 exhibits. There's an awful lot of evidence to go through, and people kind of get wedged into their own views of what they think and have to continue to talk about it to see whether or not you can come to some agreement. I mean, the issue is on all of these trials is that the decision has to be unanimous.
Right.
And that is the challenge, getting 12 people to agree.
And we were discussing this morning, it's the Friday, we're approaching a holiday weekend, and we were wondering whether or not they were going to come to that verdict today. And clearly they wanted to come to the verdict of we have no verdict, we cannot agree. We also heard from Karen Reed supporters outside of the courthouse, and they themselves were kind of saying, hey, we thought this was going to be a lot quicker, and they were kind of feeling that nervousness as well. And we saw Reed and her attorneys even kind of start to enter the courthouse in a different way. And so maybe that some of that feeling was starting to creep in.
Well, I mean, I think we all know, with enough of these jury trials that people take this very seriously. This is a big responsibility as to whether or not you're going to send someone to prison and find them guilty or not, and not have anybody be responsible for the death of, a Boston police officer. So there's a lot at stake here, and there's a lot to go through. There's a lot to consider, and I think they're taking their job very seriously. And it's not easy. I mean, these, you know how difficult it is to just get to agree with one person, never mind to get 12 people to agree with such a case like this. So I think she's right. Send them back out. Let them continue their deliberations. There's another thing that the judge can do down the line if they come back again and say, we still cannot come to an agreement. She can give another instruction, which she said she was not willing to do at this point in time because it's not time to do that, where the judge kind of pushes the jury, nudges the jury to say, consider more evidence, think about things more, try to be open-minded, and try to get people to come to a decision. So that could be coming next if they come back and say they're still not able to come to a decision.
And we know they had a question just within the last hour. They were still coming back seeking more information.
Right.
Where do we go from here? So I think it's unlikely, right, that we probably reach a verdict by today if we're coming back now at noon and the jury goes home for the day around 4 or so o'clock. So it seems like this is dragging on into next week.
It could definitely drag on into next week. And, I know that everyone's thinking that this is, very cut and dry. If whatever you believe it's very cut and dry. And it might not be for these folks. I mean, these folks are really like looking at all of the evidence, considering the witnesses, considering their credibility. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to talk about. And, you don't know just how dug in folks are on whatever their opinion is. And, they're asking them to have an open mind, to look at all of it collectively. And that is going to take some time.
So much to wrap their head around. Like you said, over 600 pieces of evidence.
So we will continue until 4:15. Madam Court Reporter, thank you. Okay. All right. So I'll see you at 4:15.
Court, all rise. Court stands recessed. Overwhelming, gratifying.
Everybody around this country, around the world, pay attention to what's going on in your communities.
Yeah, just I don't want her to walk alone. She just wants to chat. I have to.
Are unmuted.
Thank you, BC, sir. Court, sir.
All right. So I sent the note in at 3:30 like I've done each day, asking if they want to go home or continue. They indicated that they want to continue until 4:15. So we will continue until 4:15. Madam Court Reporter, thank you. Okay. All right. So I'll see you at 4:15.
Court, all rise. Court stands recessed.
You are muted.
Hey there, Karen Reed, trial watchers. You know what a lot of the trials we cover remind me? It's that you got to be careful who you surround yourself with, who you let into your life. Do you really know? I mean, it's a scary thing to think about. Well, that's why I'm so thrilled to talk to you about the sponsor of this week's Law and Crime Trial stream, Truth Background Reports. Just go to truthfinder.com.
Court is in session, please be seated.
All right. So jurors, we all know how hard you've been working. It's been a long day. We're going to let you go home. We'll see you Monday morning at 9 o'clock. To the extent that you can, please just not think about this case this weekend. Clear your heads. We'll start fresh on Monday. So please follow those instructions. Do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into the case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything about the case, please disregard it. We'll see you later. Thank you.
All rise for the court, please. Jurors, follow me.
Thank you. Be seated. Court is still in session.
All right. We'll see you Monday morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court.
Hey there, Karen Reed, trial watchers. You know what a lot of the trials we cover remind me? It's that you got to be careful who you surround yourself with, who you let into your life. Do you really know? I mean, it's a scary thing to think about. Well, that's why I'm so thrilled to talk to you about the sponsor of this week's Law and Crime Trial stream, truthfinder.com. Honestly, with our content, I really can't think of a better service that can provide actual safety for you guys. Why do I say that? I say that because Truthfinder is one of the largest public records search services in the United States. Their whole goal is to help people like you learn about the people in their lives. And here's how it works. You go on their website, truthfinder.com, and you type in a name. For instance, your new neighbor. Let's say your new neighbor is me, Jesse Weber. Make it easy. You type in my name, and within minutes and a paid subscription purchase, you can access unlimited reports that could include information like phone numbers, location history, criminal and traffic records, including possible arrests and criminal convictions. Goes without saying, but I don't have any of those. Truthfinder has been partnering with Law and Crime for a while now. We actually use it to research some of the cases that we've been covering. But in general, it can help provide peace of mind when you do these unlimited public records searches. Also, you know what's really useful? From within that report, you can search an address to see registered sex offenders that may live in that area too. That's the point. Unless you use Truthfinder, you may never know the reality about the people around you. Also, Truthfinder is just an incredible resource to use when reconnecting with people like long lost friends, family members you haven't spoken to in a while. You can use Truthfinder to help track down these people's information. It's just a great tool. Now, here's the kicker. Right now, you can get 50% off of your first month of confidential background reports. Just go to truthfinder.com/LC Live.
Why would you give your daughter a gun? She just, that girl shot my, that girl cold-hearted. That little girl's a monster.
A Florida mother is going to prison after her 10-year-old daughter shot and killed the woman her mom was fighting with. We're going to take a deep dive into Lucretia Isaac's case, including body cam footage, the arrest affidavit, and what family members of the victim had to say at sentencing. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
What's up, everybody? We're here and we've got some really interesting things to discuss today as the jury has come back with a comment about where they are. We're going to listen to that, break down what the judge.
Let everyone know who I really am as opposed to the malicious murderer that everyone thinks I am.
Oh, you kill one person. You kill one person, you're a murderer. You suck one, you're a cocksucker. I mean, give me a break.
Such as, why can't I have a bond? Why can't I have a download of my phone? Why can't I speak to my investigator?
Let's see. Why can't you have a bond? Because you're in there for murder. Okay, that's number one. Why can't you have your phone? Well, because it's evidence you can't have it. It's contraband in the jail. Okay, those, and she probably has been told that many times. Ugh.
I don't understand what it is that she has against me. I have told her from.
Gee, what did the other 8 lawyers have against you? I mean, hey, she hit one of her lawyers. I mean, rumor has it she tried to put another lawyer in a backpack.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm your personal board-certified criminal defense lawyer, Bruce Rivers, along with our content genius that we know as who? Michael Rivers. He's just an amazing son to have. The reason why I say that is because he's behind all the content. He's the reason that we're blown up to be almost 1.2 million subscribers. And we thank each and every one of you. I'm going to start with Steve and Bill. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to thank every one of you, but collectively, we thank you guys for supporting our channel, and also supporting our channel is eforms.com. eforms.com is a very effective way to avoid high-cost lawyers and to protect yourself if you have any kind of vehicle sale, or selling anything really. My grandma sells her jewelry. She sells, she started selling her gold out of her teeth. I don't know why. She's got plenty of money, but she's down in the basement. And so I said, hey, look, if you're going to sell the gold out of your teeth, Grandma, you're going to need a bill of sale because, you need record of that. So went to eforms.com and got a bill of sale to sell the gold out of her teeth. But, in all honesty, it is really an effective way to get a power of attorney. And it's cheap. So go to eforms.com for any kind of legal forms that you need. They're an incredible sponsor of CLR, and we support them, and so should you. Okay, so why are we here today? What do we react? Oh, what's Bruce's episode about today? Well, it's our good old friend Sarah Boone. Remember Sarah Boone? Let's just kind of do a little recap of what Sarah Boone was about to begin with. Sarah had some luggage. Sarah had some really, I don't know if it was Samsonite or not, but she had some nice teal colored luggage that she put her boyfriend in, and he fucking died. Sarah, help me. I mean, he's in that fucking suitcase right there. How the hell why and how he got in that suitcase is beyond me. So she calls the cops and then weaves this weird story. But what she didn't know is that this video was on her phone. And we'll get into a little bit more about why she's in court here today, but let's just kind of recap a little bit.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah. Everything you've done to me. She's drunk.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Hear the callousness in her voice. Now, maybe she had been abused by him. I don't know if that's true or not. There's a battered woman, battered spouse syndrome. In other words, you've been beaten so many times, so the only way out of it is to kill your attacker.
Sarah, I can't fucking breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
So right there, she knows that he's in distress. She knows that, he can't breathe. And she doesn't give one shit. And if you look at this statement, for everything you've done to me, it's revenge, right? That's not a defense. I mean, she could call 911 here so easily. But what kills me is she did not realize that this video was on her phone. So when she's talking to the cops in her interview, she has no clue, as they're asking her questions, that this video is on her phone. Now, what brings us today? Why are we talking about Sarah Boone? I mean, she's a creep. I mean, what is she doing? Well, she's on her 8th lawyer. So she's back in court. She's on her 8th lawyer. She's written letters to the court constantly. She is the world's worst client you could ever want. And I think she just sees the writing on the wall, but she's just trying to delay.
Judge, I've obviously not seen the letter. Ms. Boone is correct. She has walked out of the last 2 visits when I've tried to review things with her. Just so the court knows, I've spent probably 20 hours, a little bit more, a little bit less, with Ms. Boone. She has lots of lists, lots of questions. In reviewing the court file, she was distressed previously about having access to her lawyers. I have taken collect phone calls from her that are at my expense. JAC doesn't reimburse you because I think it's important for clients to have access.
So one of the things about representing a client like Sarah Boone, it's almost impossible. There's nothing you can do that's ever right. And she just is going to find fault no matter what you do.
I have
Hang on, please. No one's interrupted you this morning, Ms. Boone.
As I said, I've spent over 20 hours going through her questions, going through her list. When I tried to update her with regard to the depositions that I took recently, she opted to exit the jail conference. When I tried to review some things with regard to discovery as to things I wanted to make sure she was aware of, she walked out. she has asked me repeatedly for a copy of some medical records. Based on the discovery I got from the previous attorneys, one of the copies of those medical records had her handwritten notes. So she had a copy given to her previously.
So when you have a client like this, the client has certain obligations. You have certain obligations. In other words, the client is responsible for deciding whether they testify or not, and whether they settle the case or not. Those are the main things that a client is in charge of. The rest of it's kind of the lawyer's duty and decision to handle the case in terms of legal strategy. It just is.
Reviewed them with previous attorneys. I sent her a new copy. Some of the things that she thinks are important from a lawyer perspective, perhaps I don't attach the same importance to, and you try to explain that to a client.
Yeah, a lot of times a client, well, I want you to do this, this, and this. Like, for example, in Trump's trial, he had to call that witness. That did not help him at all. I guarantee you that was Trump's decision to call that witness, not the lawyers.
I know the court's in a difficult position, but at this point, we're at that impasse of if she walks out of every conference that I have with her, I'm not sure what that says about the attorney-client relationship.
It's unclear to me what is she trying to do there. It's unclear to me what she's trying to do, if she's trying to withdraw at this point because there's an irretrievable breakdown of the attorney-client relationship. But I mean, I think she just needs to just get in and out of this hearing. She's already talking too much.
Ma'am, you said there was something else that you had other than a 58-page submittal or letter. What other information is it that you're seeking to have me take a look at?
It's things that I've been working on in the meantime. It's things that she likes to tell me is not necessary, but I know for a fact it is necessary. She likes to, in quotes, put things to rest all the time and constantly tells me I'm not having this conversation with you. So I'm not going to waste my time, and I, being in jail, have supposedly abundant amounts of. She's not going to waste my time because she's not going to explain something to me. And I have taken it upon myself to explain it to myself because she refuses to do so. I don't understand what it is that she has against me. I have told her from.
Gee, what do the other 8 lawyers have against you? I mean, fucking A. I mean, she hit one of her lawyers. I mean, rumor has it she tried to put another lawyer in a backpack. I'm kidding about that, actually. But I mean, she's impossible.
Day one, her snotty attitude was inappropriate. And
snotty attitude. Who's got the snotty attitude?
I try very hard to bear with her and her attitude. I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong to her, but I feel that her attitude has equaled prejudice, which is not in my favor, especially considering she's supposedly representing my life.
Okay. Give me an example of, if you could, of items that you believe are important.
Testing 1 2 3.
Ms. Cashman is not
Testing 1 2 3.
giving attention
Testing,
to
1 2
or
3.
dismissing as you may have framed it.
Hi.
She likes to tell me that I don't like her answers. She's not giving me any answers to this.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Pages worth of questions.
Can you hear me
I'm
now?
still waiting for her and any other attorney to actually answer
Hi, guys.
for me.
Can you hear me now?
So if this lawyer doesn't want to answer, her litany of questions, and the other lawyers don't want to answer her litany of questions, it's got to be frustrating for her because she probably thinks some of this stuff
Can you
is
hear me now?
important, but she's also probably just a complete and utter fucking pain in the ass. That's probably what. There's no question about that, and it's really difficult when you have a
I have to
client
do
like
something
this
in the
because
settings. That's why.
it's like they go down every road that has nothing to do with the facts of your case. And they'll talk about every. I had a client like this, and he had gone to trial with somebody else, and I was doing his appeal.
If you cannot hear me again, let me know.
And he wanted to talk about everything other than the case itself.
Freaking
And
setting.
he never once talked about the facts of the case. It was just absolutely ridiculous.
Such as, why can't I have a bond? Why can't I have a download of my phone? Why can't I speak to my investigator?
Let's see. Why can't you have a bond? Because you're in there for murder. Okay, that's number one. Why can't you have your phone?
Yeah.
Well, because it's evidence you can't have it. It's contraband in the jail. Okay, those, and she probably has been told that many times.
Why can't I have my medical records? Why can't I fully utilize my constitutional rights? There's 3 pages worth of questions that I have.
What constitutional rights specifically?
I'm very leery about having a fair trial at this point. There can be other.
Unless they decide not to prosecute.
Let's look at the facts.
This is waste of taxpayers' money.
And what's her defense? What's her? It's on video. I can't breathe. I mean, he's in a suitcase, and you don't give a shit, and it's all on video. The crime is 100% on video. So the issue isn't what happened. The issue is just really legally, what does it mean?
Researching and working on and trying to incorporate. To me, what I have written to you is obvious, and apparently from the correspondence that I get from the world, South Korea was the last place that I received correspondence. They obviously see the same thing. So
That's one of the worst things that can happen to a lawyer is when your client's in jail getting all kinds of advice from either inmates or, in Sarah's case, she's become this YouTube celebrity. And I'm sure there are guys wanting to marry her that she's in jail. The morons, your bosses are leaving. I mean, and so she thinks, oh, I'm getting validation from everybody but my lawyer. But the lawyer is the only one that knows the facts of the case. The lawyer is the only one that you really should trust, honestly. And so she thinks everybody's against her because the facts of her case are so shitty.
I'll pause the move.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong other than wanting to have a very successful outcome. It's just been long and drawn out. And
So basically, when they want a mistrial, the lawyers from Karen Reed. But the judge sent them back. And then if they come back on Monday, they can't do it. Then the judge is going to give them a new another instruction and send them back. And then if they come back and they still can't come back with a verdict, then if it's a guilty verdict, no. Let me see. I forgot the name. Let me go back and show you the video again. Give me 1 second. Let me look up the video. Give me back 1 second. I forgot the name of the instruction. Let's go. We can watch this later. Yeah, my dog ate. Let's see. Karen Reed case on Court TV. Let's see. Karen. Oh, I'm up. Sorry, no, I can't do that. This is it right here.
Exhausted all manner of.
Lucky washes.
Counsel, you're aware of our note from the jury. Dear Judge Cannoni, I am writing to inform you on behalf of the jury that despite our exhaustive review of the evidence and our diligent consideration of all disputed evidence, we have been unable to reach a unanimous verdict, signed by the foreperson. So I want to hear from counsel your view on whether there has been due and thorough deliberation. So let's start with the Commonwealth.
My answer would be no, Your Honor. This simply hasn't been sufficient time yet.
And what does the defense say?
We believe that there has has been sufficient.
All right, so I'll hear from both of you in more detail. Mr. Lally, I will hear you.
Your Honor, the jury received this case earlier this week. They've had slightly shortened days, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form suggesting that they haven't conducted their due diligence in regard to their deliberative process, but I would submit that it is far, far, far too early in their deliberative process to even consider giving them any kind of Tui Rodriguez instruction or anything close to that. Furthermore, what the note doesn't really indicate affirmatively that they can't come to a conclusion. It just says that they haven't come to a conclusion through their deliberative process at this time. They're not even asking for one, is what I would say.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gianetti, I'll hear you.
Your Honor, I would disagree with Mr. Lowry's characterization of the note. The word exhaustive is the word I think that's operative here. They're communicating to the court that they've exhausted all manner of compromise, all manner of persuasion, and they're at an impasse. This is a case where the jury has the legal instructions. They've only really asked one question, which was to try to get a report that they were not allowed to get. And I think the message has been received that the evidence is closed. They won't get anything more. They've been working essentially nonstop over the last 3 to 4 days. We're approaching a weekend. They didn't come back with this at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. They're at 12 o'clock and they have nowhere to turn. So our position is the jury should be read the Tui Rodriguez model instruction and go from there.
Okay. All right, so you all know that it is within my discretion, I decide. So a case that has been, it's a long case. This is our 4th day of deliberations, but Tuesday was a short afternoon, maybe 2.5 hours. Wednesday, they left early because of an appointment. Yesterday was also shortened a little bit, and this note arrived with less than 3 hours of deliberations today. So the length of the trial, the length of the deliberations, I know the case we heard from 74 witnesses. There are 657 exhibits, very complex issues in this case. I'm not prepared to find that there have been due and thorough deliberations at this point. So I am going to send them back out. We'll bring them in and we'll do that now.
I want to talk to you about what the jury just asked the judge, saying, can we stay till 4:15? Not something we hear every day when it comes to these kinds of cases. What does this mean to you when you hear this?
I'm not sure what it means, because if they haven't reached a verdict or they haven't declared they're hopelessly deadlocked, I don't think another 15 minutes is going to make a big difference. So I don't know. I often can read these tea leaves, but not this one. It sounds like they'll be back Monday, frankly, because they have not been given that Tui Rodriguez charge. Those are the case names to say it's kind of the last chance to reach a verdict, but she hasn't gotten there yet. The judge has not given her that charge.
And Martha, I just want to touch on that. If they were going to stop around 4 o'clock anyway, and they asked to go to 4:15, the natural reaction might be that they have concluded on a verdict. But we shouldn't read it that way, right?
Hard to say yet. It could be that. It's hard to believe, though, they didn't come back with other questions or asking for other instructions after that note around lunchtime today. Right. But who knows? This is all in secret. So it could be a verdict at 4:15.
Okay, so right now it's 4:03, and we're staying on top of that. Let's walk down this Tui Rodriguez path. Judge Cannoni oversaw the double murder trial and the mistrial of Emmanuel Lopez. Now, that jury deliberated for 6 days for a total of 24 hours. So this jury is roughly getting in the neighborhood of 24 hours right now. Before the mistrial was actually declared. Obviously, these are two different cases. I'm not suggesting they are the same case. It's the same judge, but the same case. But is that an indication of how long she's going to have this jury deliberate at all? Can you read anything into that?
I mean, potentially, yes, because the judge is required to take a look at the complexity of the case, the length of it, how long they've been deliberating. And she has to find that they've actually been working at it long enough so that a deadlock like this might be reasonable. I don't think they're there yet, and
Yeah.
I doubt she thinks they're there yet.
Yeah, and just one final point about this Tui Rodriguez. If the judge declares a mistrial, yes, this trial is over. Yes, this jury is dismissed, but the charges still stay there, right?
The charges are there until and unless the DA dismisses them or decides to try the case again.
Wow. That's crazy. And this is a waste of taxpayers'
Still
money.
awaiting a decision in the Karen Reed murder trial. Reed just walking back into the courthouse about half an hour
I
ago.
agree.
This morning, the jury
It's
told
worse
the
than
judge
the
they were
Amber Heard
deadlocked
versus
after
Johnny
3 days
Depp
of
case.
deliberations that the judge ordered them to continue. Our Hannah Cotter has been following this case for us. So, Hannah, what are some of the implications here?
If we have to do this again.
Well, I actually just ran back over here from inside the courthouse where minutes ago the judge told us that the jury asked to work until 4:15 this afternoon. That's later than usual.
Jurors, I'm in receipt of your note. I am writing to inform you on behalf of the jury that despite our exhaustive review of the evidence and our diligent consideration of all disputed evidence, we have been unable to reach a unanimous verdict signed by your foreperson. We all know how hard you've been working. Lunch will be arriving shortly. When it comes, I'd ask you to clear your heads, have lunch, and begin your deliberations again.
The judge in the Karen Reed murder trial sending jurors back to the drawing board after they informed the court they could not reach a verdict after about 3.5 days of deliberations. The judge citing the length of the trial, the deliberations, and the amount of evidence and witnesses.
I'm not prepared to find that there have been due and thorough deliberations at this point, so I am going to send them back out.
I spoke on the phone with Michael Yelnowski, who's a law professor at Roger Williams. He says if it really is a hung jury, that would be a win for Reed and her defense team, and that the Commonwealth will have to decide whether to re-prosecute the case.
Unless there's unanimity, then at some point the judge will declare a mistrial and we start over or not, depending upon what the prosecution decides. My guess is, in a case like this, they would re-prosecute.
And we are expecting to hear something new within the next 10 minutes because, again, the judge just told us that
Re-prosecute? What happened if there's a hung jury again?
As we speak, there's a large crowd of Karen Reed supporters gathering across the way. We'll have all the updates on WPRI.com.
I know there was a case I
and
watched
here on
years
air.
ago. There was a
Reporting
hung
live in
jury
Dedham,
3
Hannah Cotter,
times.
12 News.
The third time,
We have breaking news. Jurors in the Karen Reed trial have told the judge they are unable to reach a unanimous verdict. Reed is accused of ramming her police officer boyfriend with her SUV and leaving him on the ground to die during a snowstorm. She denies the allegations and claims she was framed by police. Let's bring in ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer. Brian, the jury said they can't reach a verdict, but the judge has told them to clear their heads and keep deliberating after lunch. So what comes next?
Yeah, so what comes next is that the jury, I think about now, should be coming back from lunch, and then we're going to get some form of an update in the next minutes to, I would say, hours. And if the jury is still in the same position of being in a deadlock, the judge will be requested by both the defense and maybe even the prosecution, as they already have been, to give what's called a Tui Rodriguez instruction. Most of the country might understand it to be an Allen charge. And that's a formal instruction to the jury that they need to continue their deliberation. And that's an important part because if the jury comes back after that, then there's a potential for a hung jury because the jury is ultimately deadlocked regardless of any instructions from the court.
Brian, do you think the jury can reach a verdict after more deliberations? How often does that happen in a situation like this?
Hung juries are very rare. You're talking about a small percentage.
Usually, there was a case a long time ago. I don't remember the case, but that I've watched. It went to mistrial 3 times. The third time, 3 times a mistrial. After the third time, the judge had enough, and the judge said, "Nope, no more prosecuting this case. I'm dismissing this case with prejudice." So when a case is dismissed with prejudice, that means you cannot retry the case. It's happened before, and this can happen again. It is possible that a case can have multiple hung juries. I hope it doesn't happen, but it is possible. My opinion, if there's more than 2 hung juries, the case should be dismissed with prejudice. You should not have more than two hung juries. Do you agree, Juicy J and Sean B? Nah, I don't think she murdered him. I think if a jury comes back, I feel that if a jury comes back more than twice, hung, the case should be dismissed with prejudice. Do you agree, Sean B? So you're just wasting taxpayers' money. Like, shit costs a lot of money. Everything's expensive. Every time you go on a trial, you're spending our money. You think she hit him? Wow. I don't think she hit him because the bruises is just not adding up. Just the bruises is not adding up. This is my opinion, you know. Like, I do believe the medical experts is just the bruises are not adding up. Like, this is, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but the back, yeah, but remember, he would have had broken, he would have been have fracture. If he would have gotten hit, he would have had fractured body parts, and he didn't have that as well. Trust me. I know somebody got hit by a car and they fractured body parts. Like, versus I've gotten beat up. I've gotten beat up. And the plow guy has anything to do with it. To be honest, I do not know. Maybe, maybe not. But I hope we do get a verdict. I do not want to see this case again. Because in this case, if we have to retry this case for another 8 weeks, this is gonna be fucking awful. And then I don't think Rich is good at retry. Wanna watch this all over again. I'll probably live stream it if he doesn't live stream it, but I don't think he would. It is because it's interesting but annoying. And it's waste of taxpayers' money. I'm ready to move on to the next case. I want to watch the Sarah Boone case, and as well the Brian Kohlberger case, and as well as the OnlyFans model, the Instagram / OnlyFans models case. You know, there's other cases out there that we need to follow up on. Just come to a conclusion: is she guilty or not? You gonna go crazy, Sean B. Oh boy. Like, unless new evidence comes out that she actually didn't, they shouldn't retry her. This is costing us all money. Not us, but like the taxpayers in that state. Please like, subscribe, and donate. And share. Share on Instagram, X, Facebook, and all your social medias. But give a like. Everybody, please like. I got 31 views and only 1 like. Oh boy. That's crazy. He probably got beat up. Went outside. Passed out. In my opinion, he probably got beat up. Went outside, passed out, and died in the snow. That's my opinion. I don't think she hit him. Or it could be both. Maybe they beat him up. He passed on that she ran him over by accident. Because he was on the floor, right? So if you don't see somebody on the floor, so you know. But anything is possible. We wasn't there, so it's her story, the truth, and the other side. You know, so we don't know, you know. So there's always, we only know what, it's her story, the truth and the other side. So we don't know what's the truth. Like, the only person that knows the truth is Karen Reed, the victim, and the real truth. Like, we don't know the real truth. The jury doesn't really know the truth. It's just that the prosecution is telling a story. When you prosecute someone for a crime, you are telling a story. You're basically, yeah, I can have a panel if you want. Yeah, because let me send you the link. Let's see what's going on. I'd like to have you. Maybe I can put it here. Yeah, there's a lot of things that's been going on. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think she ran them over because I would have like, I don't really know what really happened. Ooh. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am good.
I'm cleaning my Keurig. I was like, I
Well,
can't type, and oh, it's so gross. I couldn't get it to like, when it gets like build up. I couldn't figure out anything, and someone's like, use CLR on it.
what
I
kind
just
of
did
Keurig you got?
just this one.
That's a nice one. You order
Yeah.
do you order it from the actual website?
No, I got it on like a Black Friday at Walmart.
Because if you order from Keurig and you
Mm-hmm.
order their stuff, you get points, and eventually you could get stuff for free.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I don't really use it anymore. We have like a new. I'll show you. We bought this, and it's got like it's a water thing because like I drink so much more water now.
Yeah. You
Um,
look great though.
it's this little. Can you see it? And then like up here, you pop it open, and you can do coffee, and then
How
it's
much is
water.
it?
So you can rent them. Actually, I can send you my referral link, and it's the first month is pretty cheap. It was like you have to order 3 5-gallon things of water for the first month, and then it's called the coffee. It's like the water coffee barista. I didn't even think there was such a thing. It was like, oh, but then there's a $50 credit. So the first month we paid $30, which isn't bad. I mean, I don't know what your budget is. For us, that's not bad.
Because we look at switch companies.
You get it. You get water
Yeah, but it is expensive.
more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get about 6 bottles.
Well, my first bill was about $80 because you have to pay the credit,
Yeah.
the rental on the bottles.
Yeah. And then they scam you because they charge a delivery fee.
Yeah, it's like, well, and I don't know what it is there, but mine's like $13.99. But I know if I send you my referral code, like you do get a pretty good deal, better than what I just said.
Yeah.
So,
I think the delivery fee is $5.99.
oh, see, yours is way cheaper than mine. I get paid. Mine's $13.99.
Yeah.
But hey, I live kind of in the boonies, not in the city, and so they have to come out here specifically, But yeah, like, how you told me like your weight loss will stall? Like at a
Yeah.
certain point. Oh my gosh. Like I thought, well, because like I think everyone goes through what is it? Where you're
No,
really
because I did
diet.
I did lose weight, and I
Well,
went down to 170, but then I gained a weight back. I'm back up to 220.
I'm terrified.
230.
I don't ever want to be as big as I was, and I never really realized how big I was. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
and it took me until now to realize just how big I was. That might sound like really crazy, but I was big. These kids made me big. And it was funny, I was at the grocery store, I like picked up 2 pounds of like 50 pounds of dog food, and I like carried it around the store for like 5 minutes. I was like, how did I carry this weight every day? Like, no wonder I was
I'm
so
surprised
tired.
you don't order from Chewy.
Me?
Yeah.
I can order wherever. Everything gets shipped to me. Like, I don't live in like a little tiny town. I live in like trying to think of what's comparative to you. Like, what's a smaller like country town in New York? Like out of the city. What is it? Buffalo?
Albany? Yeah, Buffalo. Yeah,
Kind of like,
Albany.
I mean, I know Buffalo's pretty big, but it's like, is Buffalo pretty big?
Yeah, but it's like in upstate.
Yeah. Well, there's probably like, when I moved out here, there was like 20,000 people. And now there's like, it's grown significantly since 2016. So I think there's like 45, it's like doubled. There's like 45,000 people now.
That's not bad.
They're finally, all we have here is Walmart, 7-Eleven. We have two 7-Elevens. And then I don't know what the deal is and why, but we have so many fucking grocery stores. We have three grocery stores and Walmart. And then that's just like pretty much it for like stores. And
Yeah,
then we have like
Starbucks and all.
we do. That was one of my when we moved out here, I told my husband, I said, if they don't have Starbucks, we're not moving out here.
We got Starbucks almost every corner.
Yeah. Well, that's
We
how
got
it is in the city here.
we got every corner and then the Dunkin' Donuts.
My
and every
husband,
corner.
my son really wants to go to New York, and so like in September we're going to Disneyland. I don't remember if you talked about it a little bit on Rich's chat. We're going at the end for a week, and I told him next year for his birthday, like me and him will take a trip to New York. So
Oh, you
when I'm
should come
out that
see me.
way, we're gonna. Yeah, I don't think as much as Rich is like, hey, yeah, like we'll meet up. I hope I can see Rich while I'm out there, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I hope. Like I feel like it'd be cool to like meet up for dinner, all of us.
Yeah, that would be cool. Everybody that's New York at you, me, Ali Books.
I need somebody to take me to like the sites because like I don't know what like I know my son's really he's not obsessed with it. Like he's autistic, I've told you. He's very interested in learning about what happened on 9/11 because he obviously was not born yet. And he just likes to know the history of it. Like it's not like he's do you get what I'm trying to say? Like it's not like he's obsessed with like the sadness. Like he gets the sadness and he like expresses how sad it is, but like he wants to go and see the site. Like he draws pictures of it all the time. Not like the 9/11, but like he'll draw pictures of like before, and he likes the history of the towers before. And
You gotta watch the movies.
I know I don't want to let him. He's watched more about 9/11 at 10 years old than I would have preferred him to watch. I didn't realize he was watching it. But I mean, he wants to go see that site and then DC is not far from there, right?
No, it's DC's near Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like
It's not far though, yeah.
It's like
6 hours?
about 6 to 8 hours.
Well, we could drive that. I mean, it's too close to not drive that. Because I want to go see some stuff there too. But I mean, I'm sure there's a lot.
Then you go also visit the Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court.
I want to go to Times Square, as weird as that sounds. You're probably like, you're lame.
No, it's not lame. Then we could live stream.
People that don't live there, you have to understand like the appeal it has. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it is really appealing to someone that lives.
But it's expensive. It's getting expensive.
So is Utah. Like people think Utah.
Yo, a whole chicken is $15.
Like a rotisserie chicken?
No, like not cooked, like raw.
Oh, like the little chickens, or
yeah,
it's a rotisserie chicken. But that's fucking ridiculous. You can get a cooked rotisserie chicken here at like a good market for like $8.
And then we gotta cook, and you can get a cooked one for like 10. So what's the fucking difference?
I know. You want to say hi to my son? My oldest. Hold on. Say hi. Hello. He's the one that really, really wants to go to New York. This is my other friend, Brian, that lives in New York. Oh. Where is it that you're at in New York again?
I was raised in Manhattan, but I live in the Bronx. I'm probably in the Bronx.
See, he really loves New York. But I told him his next birthday, we'll figure it out and go. Woo! There's got to be a lot of stuff we can do. Definitely.
You can always go to a ball game.
I do. You want to go to a ball game there? Who play? Oh my God, I'm gonna sound so stupid, but it's the Yankees? Yeah.
Yeah, the Yankees playing here.
Phew. I didn't want to sound stupid.
They got the Yankees and the Mets.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
The last name's Met.
There's a baseball team called the Mets, but it's spelled METS.
Bro, you have to replace it with the Z.
Okay, go. Okay, love you, buddy.
There's an acronym for that. My entire team sucks.
Your entire. Yeah, you don't really hear a lot about them.
Yeah,
Dang.
that's the
But yeah,
acronym I use.
he has a
Because
whole list of places he wants to go. I need to start looking into like places we can stay because I don't want to stay. I'm really picky about hotels. I don't want to stay in anything that's going to give me bed bugs.
man, in the city, the hotels are not that bad.
Yeah. Well, even like I've heard nice hotels there can have bed bugs. Like a lot of hotels I've learned have bed bugs.
Just don't go to the hotels in Manhattan.
I'll remember that.
Too expensive. If you go to a hotel like in the Bronx or like in
What's the
Queens.
hotel that Home Alone stayed at?
Oh, I don't even know what's that.
Is that it? That's a nice one though, yeah?
Yeah. Try not to spend more than $100 a night on a hotel.
I mean, I would be okay spending more knowing it's clean. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. It
Or I
depends when
could
you come in. When you come in as well, you know. It depends when you come.
September.
So it's not that expensive. It shouldn't be that expensive.
Well, I would assume summer's probably like peak where a lot of people want to come.
Yeah, but if you come in during the holiday season, whew.
I know I'm really tempted to push it out so we can see the Rockefeller Center tree, right? Huh? Okay, go grab the
In
6.
December.
Yeah.
Is it from Starbucks?
No,
Oh.
look at it. You're not having the tea in the fridge. That has 180 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh
What do you think is going on? What do you think is going on? This Karen Reed shit.
This Karen Reed case, man. This is what I think happened. It's taken me a while, and I've thought about it. I've gone back and forth. Innocent, not innocent, innocent. It's so hard. But what I think happened, no, it's right here, Wyatt. What I think happened is, I think he was fucking around, like maybe just playing around with the boys, you know, and then maybe it got personal, right? And then he went outside because he was throwing up, because they said there was throw up, right? And then I think Karen was leaving and backed up into him. Not purposely, just pissed off because she wanted to leave.
So that everybody should be at fault.
And I think she backed up but didn't realize that she was backing up into him. You know what I mean?
But if they fucked them up, they should also be at fault.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think that there's more people involved. And I think after she backed up into him, she did not realize she did. And she just kept going and went home, right? And then the snowplow guy came. And that cut on his head, like the back of his head, just looks like a shovel, you know, like a snowplow shovel. Like it could, and it would really hurt. Like if it, you know, he had it just right where it is, it just makes sense to be a snowplow. Like,
But when you look at the video that what she hit his car, she actually hit his car.
yeah, I think she hit him. I don't think she meant to, though. I do think that she was drunk too, and I do believe she does feel awful for what she did. But I do think that all of his family thinks she did it.
But I don't think it comes to murder.
Yeah, I don't think she meant to murder him.
So it should be a lesser included, like involuntary manslaughter or something like
Right. And I thought it was kind of weird that they were charging her with murder. I mean, it doesn't help her case the way she's been smirking through the whole trial, kind of like
that. And then the judge went off on her.
Oh, she did? I missed that. Was that today?
No, yesterday when the judge, she started smirking at her. She started she was smirking when yesterday was. I was not laughing because she started smirking. And I don't really like that judge because
I don't either. Like, I like her. I feel like she's good, but I feel like she's also stuck up.
She has a nasty attitude. We need a judge like the judge from Florida that was part of the
The
Gabby
African
Petito,
American guy?
or the one that was part of the Gabby Petito case.
Oh, I don't remember.
Take Care of Maya. Remember Take Care of Maya? That's the same judge.
I'd have to see his face. You know how many
It's
cases we've
crazy.
watched?
So
Oh,
yeah.
and did you lose your hair when you had your surgery? Was your hair falling out?
No.
Well, a lot of women lose their hair. And so my hair was falling out like crazy.
I
And so,
just lose my hair when I diet.
well, that's understandable, but it finally stopped falling out. I was pretty happy about that. I thought I was going to go bald.
Now you will go bald.
I know. But yeah, this case is weird. And I mean, I can see the appeal to it, but there's so many other cases right now. What other case was I going to talk to you about? I want to find
You're
it.
the Brian Kohlberg.
No, not that one. It's a different one. And he just got sentenced. And he's the one that has like the tattoos that make him look like he's smiling.
Yeah, he got sentenced to death.
Yeah. What did he do?
He killed two people. He killed two women.
But see, that would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
Because wasn't that a trial too?
Yeah, he was found guilty.
I keep thinking about all the trials we've watched and how not necessarily quick the deliberation was, like, because the Johnny Depp
Yeah,
case
but
took a
I
couple
don't think
years.
they should change the rules. Like if an hour's too fast.
Yeah, I think it needs to at least be 4 hours. 4 hours seems legit to me.
Like imagine you in trial and it comes back in 5 minutes.
You're like, what's the point
You
of the
mean
whole fucking...
what?
Well, and they can't say, I'm sorry, but you know, like when the judge asks, you haven't heard anything on the news and you haven't talked to anyone, you know, like when they come back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're fucking lying. There's no way in hell they can, especially how big this
So
case is.
sequester them.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I thought sequestering was, you had to do that.
No, you don't.
And I think that should be a law that you have to do that.
Nah, that should be
Because they
required
can
by the
leave.
defense.
Well, because then they can leave, right? And then they can have someone pay them off, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
the tea.
You like it?
I think it's okay. I don't think it's.
It would taste better cold. If you want to put it in the fridge, it'll taste
That's the
better.
Arizona light.
It's an Arizona half and half.
The light version, right?
I love it. I found
There's another one called Arizona Zero.
Yeah. Well, you can, so like with this water I get delivered, you can add on things. And there's like specials every week or promotions. And I got like a pack of this, like a 12 pack for like $2, $3 or something. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
That's not bad.
No,
Yes,
it's really
a lot of
cheap.
cases. But I was watching the Johnny, not Johnny.
I want to rewatch that so bad.
Brian Kohlberger. So there's not a set date yet.
Oh my God, that case is
trying,
making me angry.
Yo, they trying to set it up for next year, June, but it could be pushed. But it could be pushed back to June of 2026.
Well, so does he think he's just gonna be like set free until then? Like, what is he?
No, they're not gonna set his free. They're not gonna set his ass free. Yo, if he said he was star dazing.
I know. I fucking read that. And you know what else? I also was watching a Nancy Grace last night, I think.
And they also showed other cell phone towers.
I was watching that he pinged from, or what?
That he was pinging from.
Well, his dad even suspected him. Did you know that?
Yeah. But they say he was pinging from when that was happening, he was pinging from other cell phone towers.
Well, your phone can ping from multiple towers.
No, but he was like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
So if he was pinging then that means he didn't do it.
Well, also I've heard that his main target was only Maddie. And the reason why, what was the other girl, her friend?
I don't even know.
Maddie and the other girl, the other blonde.
Kylie?
Yes. She was there, and that's why she got like hurt worse, because he was frustrated because he didn't realize he was going to have to go through all these extra people, which
Yeah.
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But he's a fucking psycho. And what I don't get is, for some weird reason, I have thought since day one that those roommates had something to do with this.
Oh.
Do you think?
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, why the fuck would he have just not checked the other rooms after murdering 4 people?
Yeah, that makes sense as well.
Like, I just don't get it. Usually, you know, if you're in a rage like that, it doesn't just go away when you see the 5th person. You know, oh wait, never mind. I'm done murdering now.
Maybe he got exhausted.
Well, maybe from what they're saying is it was really dark and her door was just like cracked open.
Yeah, I
And
heard
so
that.
maybe he just didn't see her. And she's really fucking lucky.
But he's presumed innocent until proven guilty.
He's what?
I said presumed innocent.
He's not fucking innocent. Look at his eyes. Like,
I didn't say
like,
he was innocent. I say he presumed.
I know. And I'm just saying, you know, like when you see people that have like murdered, like right after their like booking picture, their eyes are always like fucking psycho. Oh man.
Yo, if he's found not guilty, oh boy. This world is crazy.
Yeah. Oh wait, Sean B, sorry, I wasn't reading any of your chats. Hold on, I've got to connect to the chat real quick. I'm not connected to you. I'm all connected up to Rich's, but not yours yet. I haven't done this in forever. Okay. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I don't know. I think we might be, I know for sure she's not going to be charged with anything. I mean, that's not happening. And if she is charged with anything, it's going to be so small and minimal.
But even if she's found not guilty, they could probably charge her with like DW, private under influence.
Oh yeah, she's definitely going to get a DUI. If she doesn't at least get a DUI, that shit's bullshit. Straight up.
Like they could come back and be, oh, you really want us to come back with a verdict? Not guilty on all charges.
Oh my God. Well, I think the jury's exhausted, honestly. And I honestly think had they sequestered them, they would have had a verdict by now.
Yeah.
You know, but like, sorry, this is really loud for just a second.
This is the 8-week. I don't really hear it. It's an
Well,
8-week trial.
Was Murda's trial this long?
It was this long. They came back in an hour.
Well, that was funny shit. You know, honestly though, when it comes to the Murdaugh trial, I do feel bad for him because he made bad choices. And at one point, I do feel like he was a good guy. But over time,
I think that lady had an influence as well.
What lady? Remind me of the lady?
The freaking clerk.
The what?
The freaking court clerk.
Oh yeah, that went in there. I know. What I do not understand is how she got away with that.
No, she's being charged.
Oh, she is being charged. Okay, because she went in there and said to find him guilty, right?
Yeah, and they couldn't they couldn't go home. They couldn't use the bathroom, and they couldn't have a cigarette break. What kind of shit is that?
Damn. Yeah, that's illegal. You're illegal. She probably just really had like a personal vendetta against Murdaugh, I guess. I don't know.
But you don't do that.
No, you don't do that. I've never in my life heard that.
Because
but
if he's really innocent and you sway the jury to find him guilty, that's kind of fucked up.
I don't think that Murdaugh shot his son or wife. I think he had someone do it. But that's a whole nother
That's even
day.
worse.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, do you want to get back to this case? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We could talk about multiple cases, but no. But I think
I haven't talked to
yeah, I
you.
think this case is freaking crazy. But like I don't know. I don't think. To my opinion, I think the Allen charge is coming.
What is that? That's what I was talking to you about. I don't understand what that is. Allen charge?
Yeah, I could look it up and we could watch it. Let's.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I've never heard that before because I don't think I've ever seen a trial go this long. I mean, I'm sure it has. Like, this is not even the O.J. Simpson trial. Didn't they come back with a verdict quicker than this?
I don't remember. I was not old enough.
Oh yeah, you were a baby. I was like, what year was the O.J. trial?
96. So I'm gonna put it. It explains it right now.
KENS 5 reporter Matt Houston continues our team
I'm gonna
coverage.
mute
And
for
Matt,
just a
the
second.
jury reached
Me
its
too.
conclusion today after the judge made a controversial move in the courtroom.
AC says right. At one point, jurors were actually deadlocked. They told the judge they could not reach a decision, and he instructed them basically to try harder. This is called an Allen charge, though lawyers have nicknamed it a dynamite charge because it can blow up a case. Some states technically don't allow their judges to do this. Basically, he or she instructs a split jury to go back, reconsider the evidence, talk to each other, come to unanimous conclusion if you can. The judge is not asking jurors to change their minds, simply reminding them that the alternative is restarting the whole trial with a new jury. There is no reason to suspect attorneys would be more convincing a second time, so the judge is asking the original jury to spare them the trouble and expense. But here is the risk with that.
It is encouraging jurors to reach a verdict, and more likely than not,
That's true.
there are a handful of holdouts that are saying not guilty. And so if it results ultimately in a guilty plea, the defendants are going to say, I was denied due process because the jurors were not allowed to deliberate. They were coerced into making this determination.
That was Bill Pyatt with St. Mary's Law. Allen charges give the defense a reason to ask another judge to throw out the guilty verdict. Now, we don't know whether Andre McDonald's attorneys would want to appeal on these grounds, given they successfully convinced the jury to come down from murder charges to manslaughter. They could be satisfied. We'll find out soon. We'll have a full wrap on this entire case tonight at 10. Isis?
Thank you, Matt. Now, moments after the
So basically, that is what an Allen charge is.
Yeah, well, if
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got your last.
This is the full explanation of an Allen charge.
that makes sense, but if they're smart, they will save their tax dollars as well. You know, but I guess I understand where it's saying that they're being pushed to make a decision, even if, you know what I mean? Like, because pretty much the judge is making them make a choice where they can't, you know? But they could have just been hungry too, you know, and just needed a break for a second. You just never know.
I thought at 4:15 they would have come back and we have a verdict.
Well, I thought, honestly, Brian, I thought that they were going to have a verdict on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I thought that it was going to be done Wednesday, but
Not even the Casey Anthony trial took this freaking long.
that's what I'm saying, man. If I remember correctly, not even the OJ case took this long. I mean, obviously the wrong person, you know, he got off. We all know OJ did it,
Well, he had somebody else do it for him.
but that still means he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I don't know. And that whole, God, I have been obsessed with watching that Life After Lockup with Gypsy Rose.
Yeah.
And I mean, since when do we make freaking felons celebrities? You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know.
She's a freaking celebrity now, man. She makes more money than I do. Do I just got to go kill someone?
Guess so.
Good Lord. But her, I mean, I get, like, because she did have a mom that like Munchausen by proxy or whatever. Like, she was never sick. So, like, I get it. But, like, that poor kid that's sitting in prison for the rest of his life has autism. And I don't find it fair that he's sitting in prison for the rest of his life because his brain was not thinking correctly.
that makes sense.
You know, but that case is a whole nother one. I want Rich to do that case.
But I don't know what. But the Sarah and Boone cases.
Oh my God. She's so fucking stupid. She expects to get off, is what she expects. She expects one of her lawyers to say, like, definitively, yes, Miss Sarah Boone, I'm going to get you out of prison, and you're never going to have to spend another day. And the second one of her lawyers said that.
Take a freaking plea. Do 20 years.
Right? Well, she's stupid because had she taken a plea deal, who knows how much time? I mean, she's already been in for how long? At this point, a couple of years?
Like 5 years, I think.
Yeah. And so, I mean, at this point, she could get a lot of judges will at least give you time served, you know? If they gave her a 20
They have to give you time served. It's the law.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know these things.
If you're inside, they have to give you time served. If you're especially if you're not doing life, but if you're like on parole, like if you're on bail, they don't give you time served. If you're
Okay.
outside.
Thank you for not yelling at me for being loud.
I'm not rich.
He would have been like, what the fuck you doing over there?
Yeah, stop making that noise.
And it's always me. Poor little me. He's so funny though.
He does the same thing. He be chewing
He does that shit on purpose, I swear to God.
popcorn.
Have you been in his chat lately?
Nah, not really. I be sleeping early.
Have you been working still?
Yeah. One of the freaking companies, they freaking locked one of my accounts.
Well, I was going to ask you because my kids do. I'll message you privately, but they do have that. And so I was wondering if you could hook us up, even though you're in.
I gotta look at her. I gotta ask the attorney a question.
Oh, why did they lock your account?
Because I signed up. I signed up for a phone for myself, and they told me I couldn't do that. But I said independent. I told them an independent contractor is not told how to do their job.
So you should have gone to someone else to do it, essentially.
Yeah, but as an independent contractor, you're not told how to do your job and how as an independent contractor.
I get you. So
that's what the law says.
Now?
Not for that company. I'm working with another company.
Uh-oh. Look how ugly this stuff he is.
I'm actually good at
the necklace.
That's
Go look on your bed. Look at this.
That looks like a pumpkin.
Its name's Dog Day from Smiling Critters. This thing, man. I ordered him. This is like the dupe of it, but I ordered him the official one. $90 for 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the guy told me that he says that it was the rules of the FCC. I said that makes no damn sense.
I would just call a lawyer, and see. I don't know.
I will call the FCC my damn self.
Right? Ugh. Stupid. What were we watching again before I started talking your ear off?
Oh, it says the brother and sister murder trial, Tennessee.
Is this one new?
Yeah, I want to see this.
Okay.
There's actually a verdict in this case.
That's weird. For some reason, my chat won't work.
Just permission from Build the Bear?
I did.
Thank you.
I can't hear it.
No, I haven't gone on yet.
Oh. Hey, Riker. Come say hi to Brian.
Say hi, Brian.
You hear it now?
Yeah. Say hi. Hi, loud.
Hey, Brian.
Hi.
Okay, thank you. He's just gonna keep saying hi. He's seen it. He's seen it. It's kind of loud. Can you turn it down a little bit? Just so that like we can talk and listen. Does that make sense?
You hear it? Better?
Yeah, it's a little bit too quiet now.
Mr. Miss Murray, you'll stand
Up a little
to
bit.
receive the verdict of the jury. Ms. Farmer, as to defendant
There you go.
Karen W.
Perfect.
Murray in case number 47002A, in count 1 for the offense of first-degree murder in the commission of a felony, which is
Look at this
aggravated neglect of a
It has a
vulnerable
long,
adult. How did
long
you
tail.
find
So
the defendant
ugly.
Karen Murray guilty or not guilty? No, you can just say if you found her guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
Damn. So it was
The
a brother
indicted
sister
offense.
that killed the parents?
All right. As to Mr. Michael Murray, in
It
case
looks
number
like it, yeah.
Oh, good Lord. What is
47002B,
wrong with him?
did you find the defendant guilty or not guilty of first-degree murder during the commission of a felony, aggravated neglect of a vulnerable adult?
Or they killed the parent.
All right. As to count 1
What
for
special
Ms. Karen
needs?
Murray, so say you all. All jurors agree on the verdict. All have nodded in assent. As to Mr. Michael Murray in count 1, so say you all as to the announced verdict. All jurors nod in assent. All right. Ms. Farmer is foreperson of the jury. In count 2 for Karen Murray, did the jury find the defendant guilty or not guilty of aggravated neglect of a vulnerable adult with injury?
Guilty.
And as to count 2 for Michael Murray, did the jury find the defendant guilty or not guilty of aggravated neglect of a vulnerable adult with injury?
Guilty.
As to Karen Murray, with that verdict announced, so say you all. All jurors not in assent. And as to defendant Michael Murray, so say you all. All jurors not in assent. As to count 3 for defendant
That's so
Karen
good.
Murray in case number 47002A, to the offense of aggravated neglect of a vulnerable adult with physical harm, did the jury find the defendant guilty or not guilty of that indicted offense?
Guilty.
I've
And
got to
as
leave and come back real quick. My
count
phone's being
3,
weird.
defendant
So
Michael
just
Murray,
bring me back. I'll be
how
right
did the
back.
jury find the
Okay.
defendant guilty or not guilty of aggravated neglect of a vulnerable adult with physical harm?
Guilty.
As to defendant Karen Murray, to the announced verdict, so say you all. All jurors nod in agreement. Yes, Ms. Beasley? Yes. And as to defendant Michael Murray, how do all defendants nod in assent or disagree? All jurors agree. All right. All jurors have nodded in assent. All right. If you'll be seated.
You people know.
Thank you. You may be seated, Mr. and Miss Murray. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough on behalf of myself, the court staff, and the court clerk's office, Ms. Downs and her staff, as well as the attorneys involved, for sacrificing the week to do your civic duty and sit as a juror in this case. I know it's been
Only
a
a week?
difficult and trying case, and I will remind you that you do not have to discuss your verdict with anyone. If you do elect to discuss your verdict
This
with
case was only a
anyone, I
week
would ask
long.
you to be respectful
That's
and mindful of
crazy.
your other jurors'
Well,
rights
I
and
mean,
the
it was
conduct
obvious
of
though,
any juror
right?
during the
Like in the
deliberation.
Karen
You may
Reed
not
case,
wish
it wasn't.
their
I forgot
comments
my
or
real name
decisions
was on there. I
discussed
just
by any
changed
other
it.
juror. Discretion is the better part of valor in these types of things. If you wish to talk to any of the attorneys, sometimes attorneys will call jurors and say, I'd like some guidance on what we could have done differently, what you found important, what you found not so important or significant. And you are the best judges to give them that kind of information. Okay. And it's extremely helpful as far as your commentary if any of the attorneys were to call you. Okay. I would like to speak with you just briefly before you're excused for the afternoon. I am going to release all of you for future jury service this term. This will be the only trial you will have
These
to
people look
sit
like
on.
they
You will not
crazy
have
that
to
they
call
don't
back
belong in
in
prison.
for
They look
any
like
other
they belong in a
trial.
mental
Now, in the future,
institution.
you may get one of those brown cards that says you've
Right,
been
too,
summoned
CJ?
for jury service
Yeah,
again, but
that's what
you
I
should
just
be
said.
clear
I
for
said
maybe 2 years.
that they look
2 years. You
special
should be clear
needs.
for 2 years. I've
Yeah.
spoken with the other judges who may have
Sad.
trials between now and when your
And
jury service
they
would
don't
end in
probably
early
know any better,
September.
you know?
And we all feel secure that we have enough
Obviously.
jurors, and this has taken enough pound of flesh, so to speak, from your day-to-day lives and for this type of difficult case. So
How you doing with
I
your
appreciate
fetch?
the emotional
With
investment,
my
the
what?
investment of your
Your
time,
fetch.
and the consideration and attention that you
The
gave
My
to
points
set.
this
for your
case.
receipt.
I cannot thank you enough.
Oh,
I'm going to
I
speak with you
noticed you're on there.
briefly.
You're
I'll be
always
back
kicking
there.
my
If you'll
ass,
wait in
man.
jury room just a moment, I'm going to
I don't know. I'm
address
at
the
like
attorneys, and I'll be
18,000.
right there. It won't take me
I'm
just a
trying
couple
to
of
save
minutes. If
up
you'll
so I have 1,000,000.
I'm trying to save up so I can cash out for like a good chunk of something. Yeah. But you can play games. I love how they switched it to where you can play games and stuff.
Trying to save up so I have 1,000,000 to maybe to save up to maybe to when the PS6 comes out.
For what?
Dude, I just
When
saw
the
the jury
PS6
file
comes
out
out
of the
like 2
courtroom a short
years.
time ago with their heads hung
PSA?
low, looking very,
No,
very tired.
PlayStation
They've now
6.
been deliberating for
Oh.
more than 20 hours, and at one point today, they were ready to give up.
Dear Judge Cannoni, I am writing to inform you on behalf of the jury.
4 days into deliberations, the judge read a note from
They
the
were
jury
ready to
saying,
give up.
despite
I
their
don't blame them.
exhaustive review and diligent consideration, they're stuck.
We have been unable to reach a unanimous verdict.
I would submit that it is far too early.
Prosecutor Adam Lally said the judge should tell the jury to keep trying in their deliberations over whether Reed is guilty of second-degree murder in the death of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe.
And it just says that they haven't come to a conclusion through their deliberative process at this time.
But Reed's defense attorney, David Udetti, said it was time to take the next step.
They're communicating to the court that they've exhausted all manner of compromise.
That next step would be to read to the jury what's known as the Tui Rodriguez instruction. It includes language such as, there's no reason to suppose that the case will ever be submitted to persons who are more intelligent, more impartial, and more competent to decide it than you.
It's really a blast to the jury to say, consider the other side of the person opposite you and see if you cannot reach a conclusion that's unanimous.
Once a judge gives a Tui Rodriguez instruction, if the jury comes back a second time and says they're still deadlocked, the judge must declare a hung jury and dismiss them. However, for now, the judge has decided to give jurors a polite but clear request not to give up.
I'd ask you to clear your heads, have lunch, and begin your deliberations again.
A reminder that this trial started back in April, the day after Patriots Day, with jury selection, and
No
is now
wonder why
about to
we're all
extend into its
dying.
fourth month, July, with no end in sight.
I would
Live
have
in
given
Denver,
the
David
Allen
Green, WCBB
charge
News
as
5.
the judge.
You should come on panel tonight with Rich. If we do one. I miss you up there because I feel like I'm the only one ever there.
Yeah, Ed, police calmly but firmly kept both sides far apart. The bottom line is the tension is escalating. However, this trial comes to an end. We are used to a
I
sea of
am
pink
sick of
outside the
hearing
courthouse.
that.
Hundreds of Karen Reed supporters just beyond the judge-imposed
It
buffer
reminds
zone.
me of
But
the
today,
other Johnny Depp.
a group supporting the O'Keefe family, who clearly think Karen Reed is guilty.
Well, yesterday we were so disgusted when the Karen Reed supporters showed up at the VFW to harass John's family, and they called the police on them. They just cannot leave this
that's
grieving family
disgusting.
alone, and
You
it is
don't
so
do
wrong on
that.
so many levels. They have glamorized Karen Reed.
That
They
is
have
pretty
made a sensationalized story that is disgusting. She murdered him.
Reed supporters
You
fired
don't
back.
harass his family.
Loving supporters for Karen Reed, an innocent woman that was framed for justice. We don't care what people's political parties are. We don't care. What we all unite on is truth and
Shut
justice.
up.
Reed supporters told us they have followed the case with an open
What do
mind.
you think about that, Brian,
concerned
about
that
them
the
harassing his family?
I'm pro-police, and I
Yeah,
think
they
that they do a
shouldn't.
great job. But
No.
this really puts a bad light on those that do a good job, because you're thinking they don't know how to investigate. They don't
Was
know,
it
protocol,
his
and then they're
family
very
or-
unprofessional with some of their messages.
Yeah,
Hold
that's
on,
what
will
they
you
said. They
pause
were
it?
investigating.
Pause
We
it
also
really
spoke to
quick.
Reed supporters about the jury appearing deadlocked. Coming up,
Was it his family or was it the state that charged her? Does
It's
that
the
make
state.
sense?
It's
Okay.
it's the people. So
Oh,
it's basically the state. The state versus.
what do they call it again? The
So it's
Commonwealth?
basically the Commonwealth.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I never knew what the Commonwealth was.
The Commonwealth of Michigan.
Okay. Well, and there are situations, right? Like not murder, obviously,
There's
but there are
Michigan.
like other cases where you can just decide not to press charges and not let it go to
This is
court.
the
If it's
people. This is the people versus Karen Reed.
so mostly like most cases that are really bad, like no one really has a choice. It just goes to that makes sense. That's stupid. That was a dumb question. Okay.
99% of the time, no one has the choice.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I was just wondering.
Like, unless it's like a domestic violence, and even in sometimes in that situation, you still
Yeah.
don't have a choice.
That's true. Look at Amber Heard.
But she wasn't charged. She was sued. She was sued.
Oh, did you hear really quick with that they will bring, or Johnny Depp has been invited back for another Pirates, and he said he would do it if like if they could come up with a good enough storyline.
Oh yeah, she was in the movie too. Amber Heard. She was in that what's that movie? What you call it? Aquaman. But they cut back her scene.
Yeah, but my husband was saying he watched it and he said she was in it more than he would thought she would have been. But anyway.
But and then they're gonna have another Aquaman. They're gonna have another Aquaman movie. It's gonna be in it.
No way. That makes that director look like a fucking idiot.
The thing is, there's no point of not making them like if they cut her off. There's no point in making the movie.
Well, yeah, because I mean, she had the baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
I haven't watched any of them. Look how cute my dog is.
I can't wait for the Rush trial.
Isn't she so cute?
What do you think about the Rush trial?
The what one?
The Rush, the shooting. The shooting that the celebrity Rush.
Oh, the Rust. I thought you said Rush. I am so indifferent on that because Alec Baldwin is one of my favorite actors.
Yo,
We were gonna name.
they told her to testify and they were gonna let her walk. And
No
she said
way.
no. She said no.
So how long is she doing now? 12 years?
No, 18.
18 years? She's not gonna do all those years.
She told the prosecutor go fuck yourself.
Well, you know, she was kind of a little brat, so maybe prison will do her good.
Fuck yourself. She said go fuck yourself for if you wouldn't have not charged me in the first place, I would have cooperated.
Oh, whatever. And you know what? Like, I understand why they're
And she
charging
told the
Alec
prosecutor,
Baldwin.
you better watch your back.
Oh yeah, let's threaten the people that are gonna fucking God, what an idiot.
Well, and Alec Baldwin, like, I get why he's both going to court. I get like why he's being charged, but it breaks my heart because, like,
You,
in the end, like,
yeah, but she said, nope, I am not going to testify.
yeah, that
Like
was.
they handing you for them to
I
drop
just,
to let you walk.
yeah, I
Like
would
they
have
would have dropped
testified.
to drop the charges.
Like, did she want to go to prison to get fucked by Big Berta? Like, I don't
They were
know.
gonna give you immunity.
Man, I could never go to prison. Seriously.
Like I would have said yes. Even if I was charged with murder and they tell me to testify.
Right? No matter what, I think I would testify. Even if you were charged with murder or manslaughter, which is less than murder, right? And they said if you testify, we'll knock 10 years off of your 15-year sentence. That's worth it, you know?
We're in probation.
Right?
But they even offered her immunity. Like,
when is Alex trial?
It's next month. I think it's
Are you gonna do that one?
Yeah, I'll probably live stream it.
Okay, just
Live, like
message me.
actually live.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I mean, I'm available to help you out on those days too. But like, how do you feel about that? Do you think he deserves to be getting tried?
If he's that cocky that they talk about him, the way they talk about him, like he's always being aggressive and stuff like that.
Well,
He
even
does
Rich,
deserve,
yeah.
he does deserve to be tried, and he deserves to get the same charge as her, and he deserves to do 18 years.
I think. Well, even Rich said he was kind of a cocky asshole in that restaurant when he saw him. You know, and I'm sorry. Like, if I was ever famous, I can see how it would be annoying, like to go out to dinner and be like bothered. But if you really want to be left alone, I'm sure there is a way he could have gotten a table away from people.
But if you don't want to be bothered, don't go out then. If you know you're famous.
You know, the only reason I don't want, like, I really like Alec Baldwin. We were going to name Riker Alec after Alec Baldwin. We love him in this house, but like that
Like,
Rust movie
it's
for
not
him.
like my bad. Go ahead.
ADHD trying to talk on panel together. Good Lord.
Go ahead. I tell you.
Alec Baldwin should have never made Rust because he didn't have the funding. So that's why he was hurrying up everybody. But thirdly, I feel like the weapons, the armorer should have had that organized. She had a dad that was there helping her that could have showed her how to organize it right. I think that she was just so high on cocaine every day. She didn't fucking know what was right and what was wrong. And I honestly feel, and this is my honest to God feeling, he was set up with a live round. I do. And, you know, he wasn't part of the people that went out shooting either. Did you know that? When they took the guns to go shooting? I'm like 99.9% sure. No, maybe 95% sure that he was not with them. And so how is that his fault? How did he, he probably didn't even know that happened.
But a jury's gonna convict him.
I know. And it breaks my heart. I'm not gonna lie. It really, really, really does. And the thing is honestly, like, I see it is his fault because it was his production. He was rushing the production. But there were a lot of things he did wrong. I mean, he wasn't providing the necessary, like hotels, food, stuff like that you should have been providing. That's why I say he should have never made the movie because he couldn't afford to do it. He did not have the funding. He should have waited until he had the funding.
Unless he wanted to come out of pocket.
Well, he paid for a lot of it out of pocket.
Oh.
And that's why I think he, was rushing it so much.
He's not rich enough to pay for out of pocket.
Oh, he's rich enough. But I'm just saying it's sad because Haley Baldwin, well, now Haley Bieber, is having a baby, and so, like, I just think I get into, like, I go above and beyond the crime. Like, I think about how sad that's going to be that baby won't be, you know what I mean? And Alec is old. How old is he?
He's old.
Yeah, I'm gonna look real quick because he's
If
probably
he's-
gonna die in prison if they put him in prison.
He will die in prison.
Well, and that sucks because it's like his career. He was funny as hell. He's funny, you
But
know.
you do the crime, you gotta do the time.
But I mean, did he though? Because he didn't know there was a bullet in that gun.
But he
And
should
it's
have.
not
He
his
should have
job.
looked.
He should have checked, but you know what? A lot of actors don't because it's not their job to do that. Their main job is to act. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you get handed your gun, you're in character, you're not really thinking, let's check the gun because you've hired a person to make sure every weapon's safe, right? So you shouldn't have to check it because usually when the bullet goes in, the dummy rounds go in, it's already checked by a couple more people before it's handed to him.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was only she handled it, and everybody else didn't do their job.
Well, exactly. So how is it his fault? Do you get
And
what I mean?
and she was like the scapegoat. They should have charged more people.
Do you see though, like what I mean? Like how I feel? Like, I mean, I get why. I do feel like he should be charged for like the neglect with how he treated the people, what do you call them?
The staff.
The staff. You know, and the people that were helping him, the actors and that. And I do think that Alec owes that family, his daughter, a whole hell of a lot of money. Like, or not daughter, his son and husband, a whole hell of a lot of money because that's just not fair.
They're gonna sue him.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to feel bad. I mean, he's not emotionless. Fuck, I forgot so I quit working at Subway, but I go in and I feel like I cover for people.
Yeah.
I forgot that I'm supposed to be there right now.
Oh. Why you work? Why you quit working at Subway?
Is bitches be bitches, and I'll leave it at that.
So you cover for people, they still pay you?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna just get ready. Why I watch with you though.
That's nice.
So yeah, it'll be good. So yeah, I'll watch.
So how often do you work?
I just have to work at least once a month so that I'm on the, I don't have to do training again. But like I could work a normal schedule 1 week and then the next week I won't work, and I don't have to cover if they call me, right? She does schedule me like once a month. Like I said, just to make sure, but I used to work.
Do you eat Subway sandwiches?
No, because I can't have carbs, dude.
Oh, but you can have like whole wheat, no?
I mean, I probably could, but like every time I've tried to eat bread, like even because I tried to eat a little piece of banana bread from Starbucks, and like when you're eating and it gets stuck in your throat. Have you ever had that? Or it gets stuck here and then it just comes back up. It's not worth it.
Usually when can you just have like the out bread, like some?
Oh yeah, I usually what I'll do is I'll get a protein bowl.
I didn't know they had that. Do you have the cookies?
Oh yeah, I nibble on those bitches. But you know what? Do you get sick, like that dumping syndrome when you eat sugar?
If I have a lot of sugar.
Like.
But not only that, I'm also getting tested. I'm getting tested for Crohn's disease because you can get you can develop Crohn's disease after surgery.
Did you have the sleeve or did you have the
I had the gastric bypass.
Yeah, I had the sleeve. But what sucks is like I'm getting a intolerance to dairy all of a sudden.
Because
I really love dairy.
I have a lot of ulcers, so that's the main symptoms of Crohn's disease.
Were they gonna redo your surgery? You were talking about that at one point.
They thinking about it. If it comes back that I keep getting ulcers, yeah, they're gonna switch it to the auto switch.
And that will help you.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why you've gained back some weight?
Now you usually gain some weight. Most people do.
Yeah, I've heard that. Okay, well, I'll watch this with you until I have to go. Cool. I'm gonna mute.
Hmm.
At 6, what they had to say about that. We are live outside Norfolk Superior Court. I'm Mary Salat, WCVB News Center 5.
Mary, thank you for that. We will see you then. Do make sure that you have our free WCVB mobile app. In addition to our continuing coverage in the case, we will alert you to any and all developments with the jury and that possible verdict.
That was all that was left.
Yeah. So how many hours you working today?
Just from 5:30 until 8. So I just
Also, only a couple hours. It's not that many hours. I thought you was working an 8-hour shift. Josie J. I thought he was working an 8-hour shift. And you're gonna be home just in time for the panel? For Rich's panel? I hope so. I hope we be home just in time for the panel.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go. My husband called real quick, but I'm back. What were you saying?
I said you're gonna be home just in time before Rich's panel.
I know your ass better fucking come. I'll blow up your phone all night long if you don't.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta put my address so people can start sending me packages like Rich.
Oh, yeah, I know. Man, I've been sharing out your channel, and I'm just hoping we can grow it bigger. You know, you deserve it.
You gotta help me finish the Discord whenever you have time.
Yeah, I started it, and I look at it all the time. I'll start adding to it. What I was thinking is I have a lot of followers. Well, not a lot, but I've got about almost 5,000 followers
I'm
on
gonna start
TikTok.
OnlyFans.
Are you gonna do nudes, Brian?
Maybe.
Hey, man, if you have what it takes, do it.
I'm gonna do toes.
Did you ever have skin removal?
No. I'm gonna
My
show
doctor.
I'm gonna do my toes.
You know what? Someone will like them.
I'm gonna do.
People are weird as hell.
I'm
Like
gonna
I've been watching my 600. Huh?
do $25 for toe photo.
Well, I talked to Ashley about it at one point, and I was like, "Do you make good money?" And she was like, "Actually, yeah. Like when I try," and she's like, "And I don't even really have to try." I was like, "Damn, you know." And I've been thinking, well, shit, maybe I should make one. You know what I'm saying?
Toe photo. You wanna? I'm gonna
need money.
I'm gonna go to the gym and work out, and then record myself.
What I don't understand is like, one of my friends was saying, who was it? Their bariatric doctor is the one that does their skin removal, right? And kind of like, go ahead.
Because some doctors are double board certified.
Like plastic surgery and bariatrics.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of like Dr. Now. I've been watching that show. I've got to send you this guy on
Yeah, because actually the doctor I'm seeing now for my allergies, she's double board certified as an allergist and an asthma doctor.
Oh. Do you think your allergies were causing some headache issues?
No, because I don't feel the things here.
That makes sense.
And they
I don't know. I'm just like, I know it's really expensive to get skin removal,
and they looked into my nose to see if, because then they would have to give me a nose job.
My nose, all of a sudden, like I don't know what happened, but like I never had a deviated septum ever. Like
That's what I mean. I never had that either.
And then all of a sudden, I was like blowing my nose, And like I did bad things back in the day, but let me tell you, it was never anything, nothing was wrong with my nose. Okay? Nothing. Anyways, so the other day, probably a couple months ago, I have a straight up hole in my nose. And that's kind of like what a deviated septum is, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's causing me massive freaking issues, man.
Actually, gotta call my doctor on Monday, get Botox.
I know. I want to start being like, my head hurts, but right here, so I can get Botox under my eye.
I get them here. You see my wrinkles?
Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Where?
You see these wrinkles?
Oh my
right here?
God. Yeah. Do they go away?
Yeah, they go away. They put them here on my forehead, here. Then they put them here. And then on the back of my neck. And then they put them here on top of my head.
I'm listening to you. I just am going into Teams to do my work thing.
Because I get headaches on my top of my forehead as well. Oh, I know what Teams is for Microsoft, right?
Hold on one second.
Right.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. Rush is coming now. Okay. I am doing. God, some of these bitches, this is why I quit. They're fucking teenage bitches. And the thing I could not take was being told what to do by a teenager. I am 38 fucking years old. Like, no. I could be your mama. Like, have some respect. I don't know what happened with this new younger generation, but
You could smack a bitch. You could smack a bitch.
Oh, man, there's this one girl that I thought she had a crush on my husband. You don't fuck with you don't do that. Yeah. And so, because he was working there too, but she would only treat him like shit, like some girls, like if they like you,
Yeah.
It's weird, but women are weird. And she would talk straight up shit on us. She doesn't even know us. There's no reason. Every day she talks shit. Anyways, is there anything else you want to cover?
Not really.
Is there going to be a verdict watch, or is it done for the day?
It's done for today. There's gonna be a verdict watch on Monday, which I will be covering once it happens.
Are they gonna?
At 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll be until they give a verdict, and if she's found guilty, of second-degree murder, I guess there'll be a sentencing date, or maybe they'll do the same day. And if it's a hung jury, then
she'll be going home. Now that she wasn't home anyways. I don't think she's being charged with anything. Let's be honest.
I hope they find her not guilty, because I don't think she did it, in my opinion. In my opinion, I don't think she was involved. I think they kicked it. In my opinion, this is what happened.
Okay.
The truth thing is, they kicked his ass. Maybe he passed out, and it's possible maybe she did. Maybe it's both.
Like kind of what I said. Like they kicked his ass. He went outside, threw up. She was leaving, backed up. Didn't realize she backed up onto him because she was drunk.
Because you can pass out, and maybe she backed up to, like, he could be laying down. Maybe she also bumped into him when he passed out.
Just thought it was like a bump or something.
A bump, because if somebody's knocked the fuck out and you bumped into somebody while they're on the floor, then you're not gonna know, because you didn't see them standing. So how the hell?
See, so my reason makes sense, right? Like what I think makes sense.
It's not her fault, because it's their fault. Like they the one who kicked his ass.
Well, I mean, being ran over like that would not cause like all those marks. It looks like he was slashed with a knife or something, at the very least.
Yes,
I don't know.
We don't know.
It's been so good talking to you, though.
But let's see what the FBI investigation says as well. Like the FBI investigation says that she didn't do it as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Does the FBI not fucking matter? Like,
Exactly. Like,
you
if
know,
the FBI does not matter, what does that say?
what is going on in America? Well, I mean, Boston cops, that's not the first time I have heard them being crooked. You know, I hate to talk about police like that because they are there to help us, most of them, you know, but there are crooked cops. Like, it happens. I don't know. So today, let's get ready. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'll let you go. Are you staying at your mom's tonight?
Yeah, most likely I'm staying because
Do you
tomorrow.
not have your apartment?
Not have my apartment, but sometimes I stay here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I stay here, but I'm in my apartment, but sometimes there's a lot of noise there.
Yeah. When is your new one going to be available? Are they still, or is that bullshit not happening?
I'm still looking. These apartments are too small. I'm still looking. I'm waiting.
I know, I was looking at you, like sitting there, and I was like, that's not your fucking apartment. That's way big.
I wish. Now I signed up for Section 8 in the beginning of this month.
Good.
And I'm
So,
waiting for.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm waiting for to see if they put me on the waiting list on August 1st. I'll find out, and then a year I can move to another state afterwards.
Section 8 is really good. Where are you going to move to?
I'll probably move
In
to
Utah, you can get a whole house for that. Just know that. For Section 8, like they have housing, like houses
I
for
probably move to
Section 8. And they're nice.
I'll probably move to Colorado.
Oh, okay. Just one state over.
You can always come visit me.
You're going to have a big culture shock. You got to come visit before you decide because
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit Colorado.
people in Utah and Colorado are so nice, like compared to what I've heard.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was on the train the other day, and I was taking my Metro card. I was taking my time. Yo, this lady had the nerve to call me fat and ugly
You're not ugly.
in front of the freaking police.
What did the police do?
And I told her she can go fuck herself.
Was she ugly?
And the cop said to me, "Good for you for cursing her out."
That's good. Some people are just so fucking impatient, man. Like, where are you in a hurry to go? Like life is short. Fucking slow down, you know?
Like, people are fucking rude. Like, if you were like, if that was a dude, I would have punched him right in the face.
I know you would have. Are you still doing those classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays? The groups?
Oh, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, yes. Peer support,
Remind me because before I was at work and couldn't do them, and I'm not going to be at work as much. So, especially right now. I was going to tell you, I want to text you privately. I want to talk to you privately about something, but yeah, I'm going to get off here and I'll text you.
Yeah, you can text me. Yeah. So I'll talk to you later, and we'll see you on. Or you could, you could talk to me, and you could call me on Discord because there's nobody there now.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll go do that, and then I'll text Rich and I'll see if he'll do a panel tonight.
All right.
Okay.
Peace. I'll see you on panel.
Talk to you in a second. Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. See you tonight.